Flash forward to 2035. You are scrolling through X on a late Sunday afternoon. You see a post from someone who vaguely remember. Maybe you went to school with them. Maybe you worked together once. Just hit 10 million net worth. Started my AI company in 2025. Sold it last year. Retired at 38. Life is good. You feel something twist in your stomach because you remember when you both watched the same YouTube videos about AI in 2025. You both saw it coming. The difference? They took action. You kept learning. So now they are in the 1%. And you are part of the 95%. The 95% who will become what experts are now calling AI farmers. This might be the most important video you ever watch. Not because I'm special, not because I have some secret, but because I'm going to show you something that most people won't see until it's too late. The world is splitting into two groups right now. Today, as you watch this, 1% will become the tech elite. They will own AI, they will own the capital, they will own the future. 95% will become AI farmers. They will work for the 1%. They will have no capital. They will have no leverage. And most people have absolutely no idea what's about to hit them. But you're different. I'm going to give you a superpower. Not vague predictions, not sci-fi fantasies. The actual timeline, the actual economic transformation. And most importantly, your survival plan. You have exactly 10 years to choose which side you are on. The clock is ticking. Let's begin. To understand why your job, your skills, your entire career might be worthless in 10 years, you need to talk about something that sounds like science fiction, but it's not. AGI, Artificial General Intelligence. A machine can do everything a human can do intellectually, not just playing chess or recognizing images. Everything. Now, until about 2 years ago, most experts believe AGI was conceptually impossible, or at least centuries away. But now, even the most conservative estimates say 20 years. Let me put this in perspective. 20 years in 2045, if you are watching this video, you will be alive in 2045. 10 years is 2035. You will definitely be alive. And 5 years is 2030. That's basically tomorrow. This isn't some distant sci-fi future. This is happening, it's your lifetime. AGI, a machine that can do everything humans can do intellectually, is coming. And when it arrives, everything changes. But what does this actually mean for you? Let me break it down. For the past 100 years, the economy has worked like this. Productivity equals labor multiplied by capital. To produce more stuff, you need more labor, workers, and more capital. Machines, factories, money, both matter. But when AGI arrives, something breaks. Labor supply becomes infinity. Why? Because AI can do all the intellectual work. You don't need to hire more people, you just spin up more AI agents. So the formula becomes labor doesn't matter anymore. Only capital matters. Now you might be thinking, okay, Chris, that's fascinating, but what does this have to do with my life? Everything. Because if labor supply is infinity, what happens to value of labor? It drops to zero. Your skills, worthless. Your education, worthless. Your experience, worthless. Because an AI can do it better, faster, and for nearly free. But Chris, people have been saying this for decades. Robots will take our jobs. And it never happens. But this time is different. Previous automation replaced physical labor. Tractors replaced farm workers. Factories replaced craftsmen. But humans could always move up to knowledge, or AGI replaced knowledge work. There's nowhere to move up to. And this brings us to most important insight of this entire video. In the AGI era, society splits into 3 tiers. Tier 1, the 1%, tech elite. These are the people who own the AI, the people who own the data centers, the computer, the models. Sam Altman, Elon Musk, Mark Zuckerberg, Jensen Huang, they own the infrastructure of the AGI era. And because they own the capital, they own everything. Remember, productivity equals capital in the AGI era. They have the capital, so they have the old productivity. Tier 2, the 4% superstars. These are the mega celebrities, the influencer with global reach, people who have built such strong personal brands that they can't be replaced by AI. They are not valuable because of their skills. They are valuable because of their audience. Tier 3, the 95%, AI farmers. Everyone else, these are people who don't own capital, don't have massive audience. They work for 1%. They consume the content from the 4%. They are called AI farmers because they are like farmers in the agricultural age. They do the work that AI can't do yet, or work that's not worth automating. And here's the scary part. Most people watching this video right now are on track to become AI farmers, not because they are not smart, not because they are not hardworking, but because they are making one critical mistake. They are learning instead of executing. Here's the brutal truth that nobody wants to say out loud. You don't have time to keep learning. I know that sounds crazy, don't learn, but Chris, you are always talking about AI. Let me clarify. In 10 years, labor becomes worthless. Only capital survives. Your skills, they will be worthless. You are learning N8N right now? Cool. In 1 year, that skill is trash. New tools will replace it. You are learning prompt engineering. Great. In 6 months, AI won't need prompts anymore. The half-life of technical skills is getting shorter and shorter. In 9 years, if you learn JavaScript, that skills was valuable for 10 plus years. 2010s, if you learn React, that skills was valuable for 5 years. In the 2020s, if you learned an AI tool, that skills is valuable for maybe 1 year. So what does survive? Capital, money, asset, equity, ownership. So the question isn't, what should I learn? The question is, how do I build capital before AGI arrives? And here's the answer, not by learning, not by floating in communities, not by taking more courses. Build your business now. Even if you don't have anything, even if you fail, even if your business breaks and burns, that's how you build capital before AGI arrives. But most people won't do this. You know why? Because they think they need to get ready first. They think they need to learn more. They think they need to perfect idea. And that's exactly the mistake. That's killing Apple right now. Let me tell you a story about a company called Nokia. If you are under 25, you might not even remember Nokia. But at one point, Nokia have 80% of global mobile phone market. 80%. These are untouchable, dominant. Everyone had a Nokia phone. And here's the crazy part. 1 week before Nokia went bankrupt, Nokia's top executives got together for a meeting. They were drinking coffee, planning the next 30 years of the company. 30 years. 1 week later, Nokia was gone. Just like that. What happens? Nokia was a phone company. They were the best at making phones. But they didn't understand smartphones because smartphones aren't phones. They were computers that happened to make calls. Nokia kept trying to make better phone. Apple made a computer you could fit in your pocket. And this brings us today because the exact same pattern is happening right now. And the company that's about to die, Apple. Now, before I explain why Apple is doomed, I need to tell you something personal. I'm a huge Apple fan. Every device I own is Apple. MacBook, iPhone, iPad, AirPods, Apple Watch. I'm deep in the ecosystem. I even have Steve Jobs' quote tattooed on my hand here. Stay hungry and stay foolish. I love Apple. I love what Steve Jobs built. But here's what I noticed over the past 2 years. Apple is optimizing for perfection. Meta is optimizing for execution. And in the AI era, execution wins. Let me explain. Flaw number 1. Culture problem. Perfection over execution. Apple has never been a first mover. Never. MP3 players existed before the iPod. Apple made it better. Smartphones existed before the iPhone. Apple made it better. Tablets existed before the iPad. Apple made it better. Apple's strategy has always been, let others go first, learn from their mistakes, then release a perfect version. This worked beautifully in the smartphone era. Before the iPhone, we had the LG Prada phone and Samsung Omnia. They were terrible, clunky, slow. Touch screens didn't work well. Then Apple came in with the iPhone and perfected it. But AI is different. AI requires showing incomplete work, gathering data, and iterating fast. You can't wait until it's perfect, because by the time it's perfect, you are already 2 years behind. This is exactly my business philosophy. I don't wait for perfect. I execute, gather data, adjust, execute again. I break it down into 3 simple modules. Hypothesis, what do I think will work? Execution, test it in reality. Data, what did I learn? Adjust and repeat. Meta is doing this right now. Mark Zuckerberg is releasing AI features that are incomplete. buggy, not perfect, but he's gathering data, learning, iterating. Meta AI in WhatsApp, not perfect, but it's out there. Millions of people using it, generating data. Ray-Ban Meta smart glasses, not perfect, but they shipped it. They are learning. Llama 3, Llama 4, open source AI models, not perfect, but they will iterating fast. Apple Intelligence was announced in June 2024. It's now 2025, still not fully rolled out. Why? Because it's not perfect yet. By the time Apple releases something perfect, Meta will be 5 versions ahead. That's the culture problem. Fellow number 2, talented problem. Closed versus open. Here's the second problem. Apple can't attack top AI talent. Why? Because Apple is a closed company. When you join Apple as a researcher, you can publish it papers. Everything is a secret. Everything is patented and kept internal. But in the field of artificial intelligence, the culture is open source. When you develop something, you upload the source code to GitHub and you publish it paper and you share your work. Why? Because that's how the field advances. Someone in San Francisco creates a breakthrough. 1 hour later, researchers in London, Tokyo have downloaded the code and are building on it. This is why AI has developed so quickly. But Apple can't accept this open source culture. So what happens? As the AI field takes off, there's an overflow of companies where AI experts can go. OpenAI, Google, DeepMind, Anthropic, Meta, startups offering equity. Why would the top AI researchers go to Apple? The moment you go to Apple, you disappearing into a black hole. You can't publish, you can't share your work, you can't build your reputation. For an AI scientist who wants to make a name for themselves, Apple is career suicide. And we're seeing this play out in real time. Just a few months ago, one of Apple's top AI researchers left to join Meta. He was one of the few A+ level AI experts Apple had. Gone. Apple doesn't have a world-class AI research team. They have some smart people, but not the best people. And in AI, the best people matter. Flaw number 3, readership problem. No board bets.
Tim Cook is a brilliant operations and logistics expert. He optimized Apple's supply chain and made Apple the most profitable company in the world after I died. But he's not a visionary. I was.
Steve Jobs was a visionary. Steve Jobs could walk into a room of 10,000 employees and say,
"We're killing this product line. We're betting everything on this because this is not the future I'm seeing in the next 5 to 10 years. Who's with me?"
And people would follow him. When Steve Jobs introduced the iPhone, he killed the iPod, Apple's most successful product. Why? Because he saw the future. Tim Cook doesn't have that. AI requires investment that go beyond imagination. Mark Zuckerberg is offering $140 million bonuses to bring in one AI expert from a competitor. $140 million for one person plus their annual salary. That's $280 million total to bring in one person. Can you imagine Tim Cook making that decision? Can you imagine him going to Apple's board and saying, "We are paying $280 million for one researcher"? No. And that's why Apple will lose. Let's constrain this with Meta. Meta is going all in on AI. They've spent over $30 billion on AI infrastructure in the past year alone. They are building massive data centers filled with hundreds of thousands of GPUs. They are hiring aggressively, paying whatever it takes. And they are executing. Ray-Ban Meta smart glasses launched in 2023. Are they perfect? No. But they are out there. People are using them. Meta is gathering data. A few months ago, Meta released Orion, their AR glasses prototype. Full holographic display. Looks like normal glasses. It's not ready for consumer yet, but they showed it. Why? To attract talent, to signal where they are going, to gather feedback. This is execution-focused culture. Ship it, learn it, iterate, ship again. Apple would never show a prototype that's not ready. And that's why they will lose. So what does Apple's death have to do with you? Everything. Because Apple's mistake is your mistake. Apple's mistake, waiting for perfect. Your mistake, same thing. You've been learning AI for 6+ months. ChatGPT, Claude, Cursor, Make, N8N. You have built demos. You have taken courses, watched hundreds of YouTube videos, but you are at 0. Why? Not because you don't know enough, because you are not executing. You are being Apple, waiting for perfect, waiting to be ready. Don't be Apple, be Meta. Execute, get data, iterate, execute again. Because here's the truth. The world doesn't reward perfection. The world rewards execution. And nowhere is this more true than in the next 10 years. So we've established 3 things. 1. AGI is coming in 5 to 20 years. Labor becomes worthless. Only capital survives. 2. Society split into 1% tech elite, 4% superstars, and 98% of AI farmers. 3. Execution beats perfection. Apple is dying because they wait. Meta is winning because they execute. But there's a fourth thing you need to understand, and it's the most important thing. You have a 10-year window. 10 years to build the capital before AGI arrives. 10 years position yourself in the 1% instead of 95%. But this window is closing faster than you think. Let me show you why. The world is changing right now. Not in 10 years, now. Think about the last major shift, feature phones to smartphones. That shift created trillion-dollar companies overnight. Apple, Google, Facebook, Uber, Instagram. The people who positioned themselves early in that shift become billionaires. The people who waited, they became employees. We are at the exact same moment right now. But this time, the shift is smartphones to AI devices. And just like Nokia didn't see smartphones coming, most people don't see AI devices coming. In 10 years, you won't be starting at your phone. You will be wearing AI glasses, AI assistant, wristband or watch, phone in your pocket. This isn't science fiction. Meta just released their Orient glasses, full holographic. Apple is working on their version. Google, Samsung, everyone is racing to build this. And what this shift happens, everything changes. Here's what most people don't understand. Every businesses will need AI agent. Every businesses will need someone who can build those. Every business will need someone who can manage those. Just like every business needed social media in 2010, every business will need AI in 2030. And the people who know how to build and sell AI right now, they are going to own this market. The people who wait until 2030 to learn, they will be customers, not businessmen. They will be 98%, not the 1%. This is why 10-year window matters. Not because AGI arrives in 10 years, but because the opportunity to build capitals is right now. In 5 years, this market will be saturated. In 10 years, it will be too late. The time to move is now. So you have a choice to make. Spend the next 10 years learning AI, learning automation, learning, watching YouTube tutorials, taking courses, floating in Discord servers. Your job is gone, automated by AI. Your skills are worthless, replaced by better tools. You have no business, no assets, no capital. Your position, the 95%. Path 2, start executing. Start a business now. Execute at volume. Build capital. 10 years from now, you've built multiple businesses. Some fail, some succeed. You have capital, you have assets, you have equity. Your position, the 1%. Which path do you choose? Because here's the thing, most people watching this video will choose path 1. They will keep learning, they will keep waiting, they will keep getting ready. And in 10 years, they will be in 95%. Why? Because taking action is hard. Starting a business is scary. Getting rejected 500 times is painful. It's much easier to keep learning, keep watching videos, keep telling yourself, I will start next month, I will start tomorrow. But next month never comes. And that's why most people fail. Not because they are not smart enough, not because they don't have the skills, because they never start. Alright, let's talk about the solution. If the problem is that people learn instead of execute, if the problem is that people wait instead of start, what's the answer? The execution framework. This is the framework I've used to build 3 businesses. This is the framework I've been refining for 6 years. This is a framework that took me 0 to opening my first office with 9+ staff. And it's that simple. 3 steps. Step 1, hypothesis. What do I think will work? Step 2, execution, test it in reality. Step 3, data. What did I learn? Adjust and repeat. That's it, not complicated, not fancy. Just execute, get data, adjust, execute again. But before I break down each step, let me show you why learning doesn't work. Most people are stuck in what I call feature hamster wheel. Learning, building, new feature drops, learning, building again. This is the AI automation hamster wheel loop. And here's the truth nobody tells you. This industry is designed as an endless loop. Every week, there's a new tool. Every month, there's a new framework. Every quarter, there's a new game changer. You think you need to learn it all before you can sell. But that day never comes. Let me break down the execution framework. Step 1, hypothesis. This is where you make a guess about what will work. Not a perfect plan, a guess. You map your expertise first. Don't reinvent the wheel. Pick your market, map your expertise, what do you already know? Then find the AI leverage. How can you deliver 10x faster than before? Then package your offer like a software product, fix the price, fix the scope, fixed features, everything fixed. You're not selling custom labor, you're selling productized infrastructure. Your output after this step, target market will pay X dollar per month for your productized service. That's it, one sentence, and here's the key. Hypothesis literally means hypothesis. Your idea will be 90% wrong at first. That's okay. You're not trying to be perfect. You're trying to get started. Step 2, execution. This is where you test your hypothesis in reality, not by building, by selling. You pre-sell before you build. Don't waste time building something nobody wants. Validate fast, execute fast, and build after you get paid. And execution means volume. Not 10 attempts, not 50 attempts, 500 attempts. Why 500? Because that's when you start to see patterns. That's when you start to understand what works. That's when you get your first customers. Most people quit after 10 rejections. I tried, it didn't work. No, you didn't try. You gave up. 500 attempts means if you do 20 per day, that's 25 days. If you do 30 per day, that's 17 days. If you do 50 per day, that's 10 days. This is not impossible. This is just work. Step 3, data. Every day you analyze conversations, change your angle, execute again, kill your ego, track everything. After 500 attempts, you make data-driven decisions, not gut decisions. The data tells you two things. Either people want what you're selling, or you need to pivot immediately. No more guessing for 6 months. And this is the loop. Hypothesis, execution, data, adjust hypothesis, execute again. Over and over and over. This is how you build a business, not by learning, by executing. Let me tell you about Daniel. Smart guy, fast learner, met him in Vancouver. Before I met him, he's already spent tons of dollars on masterminds and school communities. He mastered AI, workflows, voice agents, automation, and the whole thing. Could build anything, but he was still at $0. So what did he do? Bought another coaching program, spent $12,000 more, $10,000 loan plus $4,000 on his credit card. Learned even more advanced AI techniques. Still at $0. His execution count, 0. That's when I met him. This is the pattern. More learning equal still $0. The problem wasn't knowledge, it was execution count. So I forced him to execute. Week 1 productized his expertise and used AI to deliver fast. Week 2, 3 to 5 warm reach outs per day plus cold outreach. After 14 days, his execution count was 180 attempts. Result, $2,400 in revenue. What did he sell? A simple dashboard using cursor to a local restaurant. Not perfect code, but it worked. Not by learning more, by executing 180 times. Same knowledge, different execution count. That's the only difference between $0 and revenue. Now, maybe you are thinking that's not much money, but think about it. Daniel spent 6 months only learning. This was his first step. He got confidence. He got a full-time development job, then quit. Now he works with me. We built all our courses infrastructure. It started with 180 executions in 14 days. That's the pattern. And it's not just Daniel. I've built 3 businesses using this exact framework. Business number 1, web agency. Hypothesis, Korean startups will pay $3,000 for 3-day websites. Execution, 30 plus emails per day, every government accelerator, every startup fair. Result, first month, $20,000. Business number 2, Future Flow AI. Hypothesis, web agency owners will pay $2,000 for learning agency using AI. Execution, 30 plus DMs per day, 3 videos per week. Result, 6 months to $50,000 month, and 1,400 members and 40,000 YouTube subscribers. But here's what happened. I killed it. Hit $50,000 month, became enterprise educator for Samsung and LG designers, and I killed it. Why? Because people just learn AI and quit. Pure time wasting. 1,400 members, 0 execution. That's why I built Execution Squad. I don't teach AI anymore. I force execution. My business number 3, Execution Squad. Hypothesis, AI builders at $0 will pay $15.94 for 28 days. Forces execution. Execution posted in communities, tons of DMs on X. Result, season 1 launched, season 2 starting. Same formula every time. Execute at volume, get data, and win. And here's the thing about this framework. I've been adjusting it for 6 years, tested new business angles, new execution strategies, new data patterns. This isn't theory I learned last month. This is 6 years of executing, compressed into a simple framework. Let me show you something uncomfortable. You 6 months ago learned AI for months, built demos, watched tutorials. Execution count is 0. Revenue $0. Right side, you today, still learning, still building, still watching. Execution count still 0. Revenue still 0. Same knowledge, same result. Why? Because knowledge not equal execution. Now imagine this. You're today, execution count 0, revenue 0, stuck in tutorial hell. And you 28 days from now, execution count 500 plus, revenue 2,000 to 5,000, or clear data to pivot. Network of executors, real testimonials, proven offer. The gap isn't 6 months, it's 28 days, but only if you start now. Alright, we've covered a lot. AGI is coming, labor becomes worthless, only capital survives. Apple is dying because they wait for perfect. Meta is winning because they execute. You have 10 years to build capital. The execution framework is the path. But now I need to tell you something that most people don't want to hear. Something that might make you uncomfortable, but it's the truth. And if you can't handle the truth, you should stop watching now. Still here? Good. Listen to me carefully. You don't need university. Drop out right now. You don't need a job. That's not capital optimized. You don't need another course. You don't need another community. You need to build your company. Get capital. Invest. Repeat. That's the only way you survive the next 10 years. Now, I know what you're thinking, but Chris, I'm not ready. I don't have an idea. I don't know what business to start. Stop. You don't need to be ready. You don't need an idea. You don't need to know what you're doing. You need to start. Let me tell you something else. Your first business idea will definitely fail. But you know what? That's okay. Because every successful entrepreneur's first business failed too. Steve Jobs failed with Next, came back and built the iPhone. Elon Musk failed with Jeep 2 initially. Now he's building rockets and AI. Jeff Bezos failed with G-Shops, then built Amazon. Mark Zuckerberg failed with FaceMesh, then built Facebook. They all did the same thing. They didn't keep learning. They kept executing. Fail, learn, execute again. Fail, learn, execute again. Over and over and over. That's the pattern. Not learning until perfect, then execute. Execute, fail, learn, execute again. And I'm the same. My framework, not perfect. And it will never be perfect. But I believe this is the best way to start a business. I've been adjusting this framework for 6 years across 3 businesses. Test new angles, new execution strategies, new data patterns. It's not ending. I improve this every day because that's what execution means. Not figure it out perfectly, then start. Start figure it out as you go, keep improving. And this is what separates the 1% from the 95%. The 1% execute with imperfect information. The 95% wait for perfect information that never comes. Don't be deceived by the fake group word. $10,000 in 30 days. 6 figures lunch. Passive income while you sleep. Yeah, you can make $10,000 in 30 days, but only if you execute, not learn from them. These gurus want you to keep learning. Why? Because if you keep learning, you keep buying. But if you start executing, you don't need them anymore. So they keep you in the learning loop. Just one more course, just one more framework, just one more secret. It never ends. Business is reality, not habits. And reality is brutal. And here's what will actually happen when you start executing. You will get rejected maybe 500 times. You will get ignored. You will send a message, nobody responds. You will make offers, nobody cares. You will feel alone. Your friends won't understand. Your family will think you are crazy. Just get a normal job. You will doubt yourself every single day. Am I good enough? Is this even working? Should I just quit? You will want to quit multiple times, after 10 rejections, after 50 rejections, after 100 rejections, but you have to face reality. This is what building a business actually looks like. Not the Instagram highlight reel. Not the I made $10,000 in 30 days post. The real, brutal, painful reality. And most people can't handle it, so they quit. They go back to learning. they go back to their comfort zone. And that's why they stay at $0. I'm starting a movement. While everyone else is learning AI, watching tutorials, taking courses, floating in communities, we are building businesses, getting customers, making revenue, building capital, because we understand something that most people don't. We need capital as much as possible before AGI arrives. And the execution framework is the only way to extract capital from the elite class. And I want you to join us. Let's go back to where we start. Flash forward to 2030s. You're scrolling through X. You see that post from someone you used to know. Just hit $10 million net worth, started my AI companies in 2025, sold it last year, retired at 38. Life is good. How do you feel? Do you feel that twist in your stomach? That regret? I could have been them. I saw the same videos. I knew it was coming, but I didn't do anything. Or do you feel proud? Because you are the one posting that. Which one do you? Peter Thiel, one of the greatest investors of our generation, once said something that stuck with me. In a world that's changing so quickly, the biggest risk you can take is not taking any risk. Read that again. Most people think playing it safe is the safe option. Keep your job, save money, don't take risk. But when the world is changing this fast, playing it safe is the riskiest thing you can do. AGI is coming, jobs are disappearing, the economy is transforming, and one day you will wake up and realize the safe path led you straight into the 95%. So the question isn't risky to start a business, the question is, can you afford not to? I can't force you to take action, I can only show you what's coming. And I've shown you, you've seen the AGI timeline, you've seen why Apple will die. Perfection loses to execution. You've seen the 10 years window, build capital now or become an AI farmer. You've seen the execution framework, hypothesis, execution, data. You've seen the brutal reality, rejection, loneliness, doubts. You have all the information. Remember, history doesn't care if you are ready. It moves forward regardless. The AI revolution is here. AGI is coming in 10 years. The clock is ticking. Stop learning, start executing.